Why is it considered such a moral crime and a sick thing to like a 16-year-old?
This one might be a little bit weird today, guys. I want everybody to sit down before I deliver this fat-ass take. Child labor shouldn't be a thing. I know, I might as well just say that I like ice cream or I think that dogs are cute. But apparently some people out there still don't seem to understand why having literal children working is not a good idea. Randomly one day I was recommended this video by some guy named Kothorix. I don't know, I'm just gonna call him Cox. Titled, Why We Should Bring Back Child Labor. And when I watched it, I swear to God, I had some serious flashbacks to a previous furry that I watched on this channel. So in a sense, I almost feel like I'm obligated to react to this video for you guys. I mean, at first, I did wonder if there was sort of a more entertaining video of his to watch, and there was, but it was called In Defense of Pedophiles, which I would have loved to react to, but I am honestly too afraid of YouTube taking a sledgehammer to my channel, so this will do for now. So Cox, what do you got for me?
I know it's an unpopular opinion, but hear me out on this one.
I wonder why it's unpopular.
Our society would benefit enormously from bringing back child labor. Children typically were cheaper to hire, so doing so became common practice. Now, due to some constitutional thing, child labor was outlawed in the 1930s.
Due to some constitutional thing? Clearly we're dealing with an intellectual here.
And I think this is what really started America on its downward spiral. It became cheaper for companies to manufacture their products in other countries where child labor was still cheap and legal.
Okay, yeah, but you do realize there are other ways to solve this problem besides making child labor legal.
Why should Chinese children be profiting off of us when we could just hire American children to do the same thing?
What?
People raise the argument, what about school? Well, we already know our education system is broken. 37% of Americans are functionally illiterate, so why even bother wasting 12 years of people's lives? Instead, get them started working early.
Why is it your instinct to always just say, fuck it? Instead of trying to fix school, you just want to get rid of it?
President Trump talks about bringing industry back to America, and I think legalizing child labor would be a huge step in that direction.
So how is making child labor legal gonna bring back jobs to America?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
You know there are multiple reasons why outsourcing jobs is cheaper. It's not like if we bring back child labor that all of a sudden McDonald's is just gonna be like, time to give our cashier job to Timmy. That wouldn't happen.
We could incentivize companies to hire American children by price matching what they pay kids overseas. You know, 9 is half of 18, so if 18-year-olds are making minimum wage, we could just pay 9-year-olds half.
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
4 to 5-year-olds would be making a quarter of minimum wage.
You want to make it so that 4 to 5-year-olds make a quarter of minimum wage? Then why the fuck are they working? Dude, it's almost impossible to live off the current minimum wage. So what is the point of a 5-year-old working if they are barely getting paid?
They're kids. They don't know the value of money.
Wait, whoa! What the f?
We could also come at this from the perspective that it would lower crime, specifically gang activity. It's estimated that about 2% of kids nationwide, that's about 1.5 million kids, are involved with gangs. If we could employ those kids instead, we could reduce those numbers significantly.
Yes, the ultimate idea. Just take the kids in gangs and throw them into the workforce, where they only earn a quarter of the minimum wage.
I think this would be especially effective because a lot of those kids join gangs out of necessity. They come from poor families. So if we give them jobs, not only does it give them something to do, but it also increases household income. I think the real crime here is that poor kids aren't allowed to work, to be honest.
They'd be making nothing out of the amount you just said you would give them. One kid making a quarter of a minimum wage is not going to help at all in supporting the family. It just isn't. Also, why is your solution to make child labor legal when you could just pay the parents more? I'm sure that would help the family a lot more than just giving the kid over to the workforce and having them work for really crappy wages.
A third way to think about this is the effects it would have on unemployment. If we took the initiative to employ the 23% of the nation under 18, that unemployment percentage would be significantly lower, just due to the sheer amount of people who do have jobs by comparison.
But that isn't fixing the problem. You are just forcing kids to get a job and then introducing them into the workforce. You'd be artificially lowering the unemployment rate. It's not like the already unemployed are getting jobs.
Now, there has been some concern over the safety of the children. Back in the Industrial Revolution, there was an issue where kids were often hired to clean or repair large machines because they were the only people small enough to fit inside them. This led to numerous kids getting mauled by the machines. It wasn't entirely uncommon for them to lose limbs.
Is this supposed to support your position?
And it's understandable that there are some safety concerns. But technology has advanced quite a bit since then, at least in the US. Robotic prosthetics are becoming more and more advanced as well as affordable.
Is this for real?
In the near future, it won't be uncommon to see people having limbs removed purposefully in order to benefit from the advantages robotic prosthetics can give.
There's no way he just said that.
I think it's fairly safe to say that kids love robot limbs. Fullmetal Alchemist, for example.
No way. There's no way this is happening. He did not just bring up anime.
Fullmetal Alchemist, for example, is one of the top-rated anime of all time, and one of the main quirks from that universe that people like is the automail. Ask any kid if he would like to have an automail arm, and I'm sure he would tell you yes. It just seems like common sense to me.
Ask any kid to get their arm removed? What the f-
In closing, the reasons to bring back child labor are pretty compelling.
You just brought up anime to support child labor.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
I've gone ahead and created a change.org petition. Maybe if we can get 100,000 signatures, we can bring it to President Trump's attention.
What? Did Trump see this?
And if you want to support me in what I do, I have a Patreon. For $5, you get access to my Discord, which is not a cult. If you've heard that, it's not true. It's just a perfectly healthy, philosophical, and spiritual movement.
If it's not a cult, then why did you just say that? Guys, this can't be real. After what he just said, I refuse to believe that this isn't satire. At the beginning of the video, I was convinced that he was just stupid, but now I'm sort of thinking that he's a troll. Come on, man, there's no way he's not a troll. He just brought up Fullmetal Alchemist as a reason for kids to get their arms chopped off. Listen, if it is the case that he is a troll and he actually doesn't believe what he said in this video, then I kind of wish that his comments were a little bit more ridiculous, like the anime part, because like, that shit is fucking hilarious. But like I said before, in the first half of the video, he actually is like trying to make legitimate arguments for his position. But really overall, this video just reminds me of the Achilles Argyle video, which if you guys haven't seen that video yet, you should check it out. Here is another example of a furry being like fucking ridiculous, and it's insane. I would not be surprised if he took inspiration from Cox here.
There is only one thing worse than a rapist. Boom. A child. No.